This is Joanne Lysiak, and welcome to the live tonight, where I'm going to be talking about law of attraction. And it works all the time, right? We get what we want, or we get what we don't want. It always works. But I'm going to share two big mistakes that I see myself making and clients making, and then you don't get what you want. So I'm going to talk about that tonight. So maybe you know law of attraction and you use it all the time, and then sometimes you get kind of stumbled up and fumbled up, and you get what you don't want because you're making some of these mistakes. Or if you're new to law of attraction and you're not sure what it is, this is the right place for you because we're going to really talk a little bit more about it. Or if you just feel like it's kind of hit or miss with you and mostly miss, and you're not really getting all the details of law of attraction, then listen in and we're going to talk about that as well. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that's here live. I want to thank you for being here. And if you would put your name and where you're from in the comments section below, because I'd like this to be a conversation. So, we could talk a little bit more about law of attraction and some of the nuances and what's been working for you, and so on and so on. And if you're here on the replay, I want to thank you for being here on the replay, and also encourage you to put your name and put your city where you're from and comments in too, because I do go back to the news feed and I do answer questions and comment on everybody that's here. So just share some information with me. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you would give me some hearts, some likes, and if you feel this information is for someone you know, a friend of yours, if you would share it, I would love that, because I'm on a mission to get law of attraction out there, and also some other techniques with spirituality and life coaching to really help people create their life desires. So let me tell you a little bit about what I do. My name is Joanne Lysiak, and I am a life transformation coach. I had kind of interesting background. I was a jewelry designer, corporate America before that. Then I started my own business in jewelry design and fashion. And then I went into wellness, and then I went into coaching. It's been a really great evolution for me, and it was just like a perfect law of attraction situation, how everything just unfolded. And what I do is I help entrepreneurs and wellness coaches in particular, and coaches in general, to help them unleash their greatness within, to really step into their power and activate their intuition so they can live and create and live their life aspirations. That's what really gets me going every day when I help people do that. So here's what I've noticed. I put a survey out recently. I put a survey out to the people in my class, which is called the Essential Formula for Manifesting Mastery. And I put a questionnaire out to them, and I put a questionnaire out to my contact database as well. And the questionnaire was like, what are you looking for? Like, what's tripping you up? Where are your challenges, and how can I help you? And what I've uncovered, that people want to live their life vision, their life purpose. That was one. The other one was that they want to activate their intuition and really tap into the power of their intuition. That was another really big one. And they really wanted to learn about manifesting so that they can live their life desires. So we're going to cover a little bit of that here today. So again, if you would, I would love to hear who you are, and any comments you have and where you're from. So let me tell you a little bit about why I'm so passionate about law of attraction. When I was a little kid, I remember my mom always telling me that I was a dreamer. And I loved being a dreamer. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then she would say things like, you've got a vivid imagination, Joanne. You've got a really wild imagination, because I was always creating. I was an artist as a kid and as an adult, and so I was always into that creation mode. Well, I never realized it because I didn't grow up with law of attraction. My mom wasn't aware of that, and she certainly didn't teach me that. But it was after a while, I was getting all these great things happening in my life. And after school, when I actually had my own career, it was just real obvious to me that I was doing things differently than a lot of the people around me, because I was getting all these wonderful things happening as a jewelry designer, and things were just really happening. My line was featured in 4 movies and a TV show, and I was getting publicity, and I was in the top magazines, and I was being interviewed, and it was just really fabulous. And people were saying, how did you do that? How did you get into those stores, and how did you get that that magazine featuring your story? And I didn't know what it was, but it was law of attraction. I was dreaming it. I was using my imagination and visualizing it. So has that happened to you where you were doing something you didn't even know you were doing, and then you got these really great manifestations, and people were so like, where are you getting this from? How is this happening? And then only to uncover what it was. So then I'm in my studio. I'm in my jewelry studio at the time, and I've got Oprah Winfrey on her show on. And all of a sudden, I hear her talking about law of attraction. And she had the whole secret gang on, and they were all there. Michael Beckwith and Rhonda Byrne was there, and they were talking about the law of attraction. Well, my ears perked up, and I realized this is something I had been looking for. So I got the book, I got the DVD, I got the movie, and I totally immersed myself in it to just learn it as much as possible. And then I realized what this was and what I was doing. Now, I'm not saying I did it perfectly, because I don't. There are times where I make the same mistakes. So I'm going to share those with you so that you understand it. The difference is when you're aware of these, I don't want to say mistakes, but when you're not using it to your fullest advantage, when you're aware of it, you can change it and tweak it right away. And when you do that, then you can stay focused on what you truly want and get your desires. So let me share there's few different, mistakes, but let me share two of the biggies that I see for myself and other people. So the first one is that you are getting in the way. You are getting in the way of your manifestations. You are getting in the way of law of attraction. Now, what do I mean by that? This is your subconscious beliefs I'm talking about, because, you have two minds. You have your conscious mind where you're saying what your desires are, and then you have your subconscious mind, which is automatic. That's autopilot. That's the system that allows you to, like what I'm doing now, moving my hand without actually thinking of doing it, or breathing or eating. It's the automatic system, your survival mechanism. Well, your subconscious mind is basically a computer system, and it's recording everything. So everything that you've been hearing and saying, you've picked up. So these are limiting beliefs and stuck emotions that I'm talking about that are in your subconscious that are not supporting you. So for instance, let's just say that your desire, because this is a big one everybody wants to work on when I'm working with people, is they want more money. So that's one of their big, heart's desires is to have enough money. It could be like $20,000 a month or $30,000 a month or $10,000 a month. It doesn't really matter what the number is, but they all have these dreams to have more money. Well, that is what their conscious mind wants, is to have that money. But their subconscious, which is the program from childhood, is saying something otherwise. It's something from their family. And it could be that they were struggling with money. Their mom and dad constantly said to them, we don't have enough money, or I can't buy you that because we can't afford it, or that's too expensive, or you're costing too much money, or the school's too much money. And so your programs are that everything costs too much money and you don't have enough money. That is getting in your way. So with law of attraction is a universal law, but it's what you think about, you bring about. You become what you think about. But you are the attractor. You're a creator, but you attract it. So think about like you've got a magnet on your head and you're attracting it. So how are you attracting it? You are not attracting it by what you're saying. You're attracting it by the vibration that's behind what you're saying. You're attracting it by your vibration that you have in your subconscious. That is what's controlling and taking over and running the show. So you could be super positive in your conscious mind, but if your past is filled of fear and anger, that is somehow getting in your way. So that's what I mean by getting in your way. So let me give you an example. When I was, doing all these great things in jewelry design, I was at a New York show, and I was having a great show, but I happened to walk the aisle and all these other designers were talking about how slow the show was and how bad it was. And I had to watch my thinking because their energy impacted me. So I remember walking away going, okay, I'm not taking that on. I'm believing that the show is really good and feeling really positive about it. and allowing that high vibration to kind of resonate with me and my thinking. So that vibration was what I was attracting, not just the thoughts and the words I was saying. So do you guys understand that? Anybody need any clarification on that, specifically about your subconscious? Because you know what? We don't really talk about it. I mean, I learned about this because I went down the wellness path, and that was part of wellness. You know, we had to address the subconscious beliefs when I was working with clients for their wellness, because the mindset had to be that of wellness, not that of being sick, and focusing on that. And that would consequently cause them to, eat the wrong foods. So that's something that we don't necessarily know, but you can, look it up on YouTube. You can read the book, The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton, and he really gets into that whole concept. He's a biologist, PhD, so he can really give you the science behind it. But the subconscious is what's getting in your way. So what is getting in your way? Do you feel a wave of negative emotions that come over you? Let's say you're wanting money and you're so excited, but all of a sudden, after that excitement leaves, you are just like bombarded with a wave of negative. Does that happen to you? Or maybe it's fear, or maybe it's anger, anything like that? Anybody have anything like that? That's what I'm talking about, that's getting in the way. So really the best thing to do is you've got to manage that, but more importantly than managing it is you've got to eliminate it. There are energetic techniques. In fact, I use an energetic technique with all my clients in all of my classes. That's what I do with my clients. We eliminate the subconscious beliefs, and then we replace them with new supportive beliefs. So that's the first mistake, is you've got to get rid of these beliefs that are getting in your way, that are stopping you. They're like a chain holding you back. So you got to snip that chain, get rid of it, and you do it with a amazing, powerful technique that I use. So I like to use that. But there's lots of techniques I learned. This is the one that I'm constantly using in my programs. I have a class going on right now. It's called The Essential Formula for Manifesting Mastery. And we do group clearing. And so we're on class number 7. And we've been doing clearing every single day, or every single night for 7 weeks. And they've had amazing results just by peeling these layers of stuff, emotional stuff. So that's what I suggest. The second big mistake is this. We're a spiritual being here for a temporary physical experience. You've heard of that. We are a spiritual being here for a temporary physical experience. So we are a spiritual being and we are a physical being, because we're physical as well in a body, but we're both. We're physical and we're spiritual. The challenge is, how do you blend the two? How do you blend being spiritual and being physical at the same time? That is the second mistake, is that people either stay on the spiritual side and do only the spiritual things, or they stay on the physical side and they do only the physical things. They do not blend the two, and they don't get the results. So let me give you an example. So as a spiritual being, we are very intuitive. We're very powerful. We've got such an amazing power source within us. We have greatness. You all have greatness within you. I have greatness within me. Everyone is great. Everyone is unique. Everyone is great. We have this greatness that's in. So my programs are unleashing the greatness within you. So this power source that you have is so amazing. It's the spiritual side to you, your intuition, your guides, your angels, right? Well, if you stay too much on the spiritual side and all you do is think it, and all you do is dream it and imagine it, and you don't ever take action, you're not going to get the results, because you have to blend the two. So the spiritual side is the thinking. The spiritual side is the dreaming. The spiritual side is the visualization. That's the intention setting. That's all the spiritual tools that you use. Meditation, being quiet, connecting to your intuition. Now, you've got to blend the physical side to it as well. If you just stay on the spiritual side and thinking, that won't get you your manifestation. So let's talk about the physical side. The physical side is that you're actually taking action, that you're doing something. You're taking action, and we call it inspired action, to get you your desires, because you have to do something to get it, because you're in a physical body, in a physical universe. So that's blending the two. However, if you stay on the physical side, which I've done, and this is a program automatic. So if I'm doing something and I get so focused, I'm so focused and so focused, I just work and work and work. And I have to snap myself out of it and go, wait a minute, I got to be spiritual as well as physical. I'm just focused too much. It would be like the syndrome of trying to fit the square peg in the round hole and making it happen. And just working, 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 and not even connecting your mind to it by setting your intention, by visualizing, by deciding what you want, seeing the end before you do the action steps. So you've got to blend the two. So that's the second mistake, is that staying either 100% on the spiritual side or 100% on the physical side and not blending the two. So how do you blend the two? That's where you really have to learn the mind and body tools and how to connect your mind and body. You know, I spend a great deal of time with my clients by teaching them all these tools and then having them use it and applying it to their life. And it takes consistent effort because you're not necessarily programmed to do that. You haven't learned it. So it's a new skill to learn. Just look at it that way. It's a new skill. Like if you were playing tennis, you'd have to learn from a pro how to, hold the racket, how to swing, how to follow through, where to stand, where the positioning is. It's the same thing with the mind-body tools. You have to learn them. And so it's kind of uncomfortable when you first learn them. It might feel awkward. So does anybody have any questions right now? I know there's a few people here that are live. Anybody have any questions or any comments that you want to add here to the Facebook Live? No, everybody good? So those are the two mistakes that if you can avoid those mistakes, you're going to be more apt to get what you want on a regular basis, because the law of attraction works all the time. You're always getting what you put out to the universe. But when you're in your way and the subconscious beliefs take over, you've got conflict. You've got your conscious mind, which is I want money, and you've got the subconscious mind, which is I can't afford it. The subconscious wins all the time. Subconscious wins. That's why you have to clear these emotions. That's the easiest way to do it. I know people think that they can just go through it without. It's just a struggle. It's a struggle when you got all this stuff, the programs, and it's holding you back. So, it's just great to let go of it. It's just, it's miracles, literally. When I work with people, I see miracles all the time. So the second one is, again, you want to combine the spiritual and the physical together, and you want to use the mind-body tools properly so that you do both. And then you will get the intuition, you'll get all of your visualization tools, and you'll be able then to take inspired action and know what to do to follow your intuition. So my particular program really combines the spiritual and the physical. That's what I do. I teach people how to use the essential formula for manifesting so that you get all of your desires, your heart's desires. I've got 2 classes going on right now. Both groups are doing really well in this class, and I'm getting great feedback from it. So we're going to do a level 2 class for the people that are in the first class and the second class, but I'm doing a brand new class in January. So we're going to have a brand new class in January, because here's what happens. The end of the year, people start thinking about New Year's resolutions, and they set New Year's resolutions. And did you know that most of the New Year's resolutions that are set are not kept? They're broken in the first week. And the reason being is because people don't know what they want. They set a goal that is not even important to them. And in my class, I teach you to uncover what you truly desire in health, wealth, love, and spirituality. So when you set your goal for the new year, it's something that's meaningful to you, and it's something that you have a high desire for. Then you're able to learn the tools so that you can actually get your goal. You can make it happen. You're going to activate your intuition. You're going to activate your power. You're going to be able to use these tools, and you're going to end up in 2018 with your dreams. I see so many people setting goals, and these goals are not met in the first week of the new year. And because they're just not important to them, and they're not really spot on with what they truly want. So you've got to really uncover what you truly want before you set a goal. So join us in this class. I'm going to put a link in this post. You go to the website, because right now I can't really put a link up for Facebook. It really impacts the Facebook itself. So if you would go to my website, empowercoachingnetwork.com, and then go click on the tab that is labeled Empower Academy. Scroll down, you will see the class, The Essential Formula for Manifesting Mastery. And that's to unleash your greatness to live your heart's desires. So click on that, you'll get lots of information and join the class. It's going to be a great time and you will learn what to do so you can be living your dreams in 2018. So I want to thank everybody for being here. And again, if you would share this Facebook Live, again, my dream is to empower as many people as possible so that they can use the law of attraction, universal laws, to manifest their desires. So again, thank you for being here. I so appreciate it. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.